Hey, in this video, we're going to be talking about the observer design pattern. It's one of the hottest design pattern that we have out there, and it is used in many different places, in many different frameworks, in many different concepts, right? And the concepts that we are learning in this series is all about the reactive programming with Java. And this is also inspired by the observer design pattern. We use observer design pattern pretty much in our reactive programming as well. So let's forget about reactive programming right now and let's focus on observer design pattern and let's understand every bit of it, how it works, what it is, and when we should prefer this observer design pattern. And this will give you a lot of important ideas that we will be using further in our course. Okay? So I think you are all set. Let's get started. So let's just start fresh right now. So what are we going to be doing today? All right. So today, as I said, we're going to be talking about a design pattern, and the design pattern name is observer design pattern. Okay, a very important design pattern. Most probably one of the most used design patterns. I thought to skip this topic, then again I thought like it will be good, if I can give you a quick code walkthrough and a little bit of animation so that you can assume what basically happens in the observer design pattern. First of all, I'm going to take you to my slides, okay? And I'm going to show you some animations. One thing I'm going to tell you, don't think about the UML diagrams. Don't think about coding wise. Just understand some simple stuff, okay? Imagine you have a gold, okay? It's a piece of gold. You can call it a subject, and think like a gold or a diamond or like any costly materials which has a price and which keeps on changing. Okay, imagine this gold is a subject that we have, and everything that we represent in Java in form of objects, right? Treat the subject as a gold class, but I'm gonna keep telling this one as subject. Okay. So let's say we have a subject and we have a price which is assigned for this subject, okay? Let's say the price of gold is right now 1,000. Funny, is touching around 70,000 right now, Indian rupees. But let's say the price is around 1,000 right now, okay, for the gold. And there are, like these prices will keep on changing, right? Right now, the price will be 2,000, and the price will be 3,000, and the price will keep on changing, day by day. Like, every day the gold price is changing. Okay. Now imagine there are few people. Let's say this is one girl. This is another guy, and this is another girl. Okay. And all these three people are observing the gold price. Okay. Maybe this girl that you are seeing over here, maybe she's getting married. Okay, she wanted to purchase some jewelry and she's tracking the gold price. Maybe this guy, he is a jewelry dealer or something. He wants to have some raw material and he keeps checking the price of the gold. Okay, and maybe this is another girl. She just loves to purchase gold jewelry. Maybe she's trying to check the price of this particular subject. Okay, so we can say these are few observers that we have, okay, who continuously right now observing the price of the gold, okay, for so and so reason. Everybody have some different perspective why they need to check the gold price, but the end goal is all these three people want to get updated with the gold price every time. All these observers, I have given three human kind of symbol over here. But treat all these observers as three different Java objects, right? Everything we represent in Java in form of objects, right? So maybe this girl, this observer one, treat like a Java object. This guy is a Java object, and this girl is a Java object, right? And they want to get details, the gold price details, okay? So when the price changes, for an example, right over here to 4,000, they want to get notification, or maybe they want to get updated. Okay, the price has been changed, something like that. You imagine. So my bottom line is there is a piece of subject, and there are a few listeners who wants to listen to the updates of this particular subject is. So every time this subject, imagine this is a Java object, every time the price change, that means we can say the state of the object is changing, isn't it? So now previously the gold price was 1,000, now it is updated to 4,000. So the state, the Java object, the subject object was before. Right now, the state of the object has been changed to 4,000. And when the changes happens over here inside this object, when the state change happen of this object, these observers want to get the updated price over here. That's the goal. Okay. So one way of doing thing is this observer will be keep on checking the data. Like, can you tell me if your price changed? And the subject will say, no, my price has not been changed. Then again, the observer will say, okay, after 2 seconds, or after 10 seconds, or after 1 hour, or after a day, okay, is your price changed? Then this guy will say, no, my price has not been changed yet. So now this observer kind of need to keep on checking with the subject that whether your price has been changed or not. It's going to make multiple calls. Okay, it's going to make multiple calls. Okay, is your price changed? Is your price changed? Is your price changed? But the subject says, no, it hasn't been yet, but you can keep on checking. So it is trying to fetching. It is trying to pulling the data over here. The observer is trying to pull the data from the subject with a pull request. It's making a request that, okay, do you have any updated price for the gold? Okay, but it's ended up making multiple calls to the subject. Okay, and this is a pretty bad thing to do if somebody need to make a, let's say, you want to ask me that, Abhilash, our Java reactive sessions are running. Will you ping me every day? Abhilash, such sessions are running. Abhilash, sessions are running. Abhilash, sessions are running. You won't be liking it, right? So it's a call every time, and you don't want to make call every time, isn't it? So better if I can tell you whenever it starts, right? If I, being the subject, can give you an update, right? Because making calls is a pretty bad approach, bad approach in the programming sense. Okay. For an example, we also have multiple observers, right? If they want to get notified about the subject, if the price has been changed, they all have to make multiple calls like this. Okay. Is your price changed? Just tell me, is your price changed? Imagine all of you guys are students, right? For an example, you keep on calling me, everyone, Abhilash, is the session started? Is your Java reactive session started? Is your Java reactive session started, right? Let's say that tens and hundreds and thousands of students, they keep on calling me, is your session started, right? It's just something which is a pretty bad approach to make things happen. So what could be the solution over here? For an example, if the price changed over here right now to 5,000. Now what we can do as a subject, if the subject can send notification, or if the subject can notify all the observers who are listening to the price right now, if it can send updates to everybody that, hey, the price has been changed right now, and this is the price. Okay, so somehow the subject, when the state change happening over here, the subject is only giving updates to each of the observers who were interested to learn about the price, the gold price. Okay, and the subject is right now sending them the updates. I think it makes sense. Okay, so whenever the price change happens, it's just going to push the update notification to each of the observer. Okay, so what I'm planning to do over here, first of all, let's just try to do some bad coding. Okay, I just want to code things. I don't want to follow any design pattern. I just want to make things happen. Then we'll think about the UML, the standard, the approach that we should be taking to develop the observer design pattern. But for now, I'm going to create a new package, and I'm going to say observer design pattern. Okay. Over here, I'm going to create a new Java class. Okay. One class will be, let's say, my subject. Okay. Imagine this subject is some kind of gold or something, which has a price. Okay. Int price. Okay. And imagine I have the getter and setter for this available. Maybe the setter for this available. All right. And right now, let's say I also have some observers. Okay. Maybe some persons or some trackers who's tracking the rate of this object. Okay. Whether that rate is changed or not. For an example, if I'm going to create a client class over here, something like this, maybe some class where I'll be doing my main coding. Okay. Imagine here I have a subject over here. Let's say subject is equal to new subject. Okay. Imagine this price is right now assigned to 1000 for an example, right? Now, whenever the subject object is created, the price which is inside that object is 1000. Now, let's say I'm going to make a change to that price, subject.setPrice, and I'm going to say 2000 right now. Now there is a price change happens. This object state has been changed in this line. Whenever this change happens, I want to send notification. I want to push the data to all the observers or listeners who will be listening to this subject, right? That's something that I want to achieve. Okay. Now I have a subject, the state is changed. I want to notify the observers, but I don't have any observers yet, right? Let's just remove the set price for now. This is my subject. Let's just go to our project, create some kind of observers. Okay. Imagine these are all those, some main and women symbol that I have shown you over there who will be listening to the gold price. Okay. So now I will be saying that, okay, this will be a observer. And this observer's job will be observing, observing the, the subject. Okay. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Yeah. Like this observer job will be observing the subject and whether the state of the subject is changing. Okay. So now imagine here in my client, I'll be having some observer here. Observer is equal to new observer. Let's say this is observer 1, and maybe there will be multiple observers. There can be multiple observers who will be observing this subject, whether the state change happens over there. Okay. And whenever the state change happens, the subject need to send notification to all these observers. Now, how the subject can send notification to all these observers when a state change happens, something like this. Subject.setPrice 2000. Now the state change happens for the subject, right? The value of this price has been changed, what my observers are noticing right now. So how these observers will be notified by the subject. Okay. Let's just see animation. Look at this. So you have the subject, you have some observers, okay? And the observers need to push the update whenever there will be a state change over here. It need to notify the observers. Now the thing is, there can be multiple observers, right? As I said. Now, how come the subject will know how many observers are there? Okay. So whenever there will be any property change happens over here, it can notify all those observers who are interested to get those data, who are interested to get those updates. What I tell you guys every day. Guys, if you have interest on, let's say, microservices, design patterns, join the session. Guys, if you have interest on Stream API, join the session. Now, let's say I have 100 students or I have 50 students. Not all 50 will be, want to learn the things, right? Maybe there will be 20 who need to get the updates. So this subject need to send update to only those observers who are interested, right? So there is somehow the subject need to know who are the observers who are interested when the state change happens, who are interested to get those updates. Okay. So in order to make that happen, all these observers need to register with the subject, isn't it? That is somehow they need to register with the subject, right? So I have created a register method over here. So what you can do, all these observers right now can call this register method over here of the subject and can pass their instance over here. And the subject can store the observer details whoever want to, get the updates. For an example, this is the observer who want to get the updates when the subject property has been changed or the subject state change happens. That time, this observer can call this register method, right? And can pass this instance. For an example, that, okay, I'm observer 1. Then the subject can, get the details of that observer and can store that details over here inside the subject. And let's say this observer is also want to get the updates. It will register itself with the subject like this by calling that register method. Okay. And this observer 3 details are also been set over here with the subject right now. And now, whenever there will be a price change happens right now, then what will happen? All this notification will be sent that, okay, observer 2, observer 1, observer 3, I'm sending you guys notification. Hey, there is a price change happened right now. And this is the price change happens. This is the data regarding the price change. And this is 2,000 rupees right now. I'm notifying all my observers right now because they are interested, okay, to get the price details. And the subject is right now pushing the data. It's not pulling, right? The observers used to pull every time by making requests. Now, whenever that happens, the subject is pushing the data through an update to the observer like this. It's just one push, okay? So right now, somehow in our subject, we need to have a register method through what all these observers can register, right, with the subject, right? And the subject need to know about all the observers who are interested, who are basically trying to register. The subject need to get a hold of all this data. How can we achieve it? Let's just see. So we have a subject, we have a couple of observers. So somehow with this subject, we need to have a method, something like register, where all these observers will be registered, right? Observer 1, and let's say observer 2. So we need to have this method called register inside our subject over here, okay? So instead of register, let me call this add for simplicity, okay? But you understand, add means the observers want to be added with the subject, right? So instead of register, I'm just saying it add, okay? And let's just create this method inside our subject right now, like this, okay? Add method. Now the add method will be having the observer. Let me remove the 1 over here. And once I get a hold of this observer over here, okay, I want to store the observer details, like whoever the observers want to be added with this subject, I want to store their details over here. Maybe I'll have a data structure here. Let's say private list. Maybe I'll have a list of observers, okay, and observer list, okay. And maybe I'll initialize this new array list of observers. I'll import this, okay, simple. So here, whenever the add method will be called, I will just say observer list dot add, and I'm going to pass in the observer over here. So whatever the observer was trying to call my add method, okay, and giving their details, I'm going to store all those observers inside this list, right? Now, let's just go to my client. Let's say subject.add observer 1, subject.add observer 2. So all this couple of observers is right now added with my subject right now. Now my subject has a list, and this list knows who are the observers who wanted to get the updates for the state change whenever the subject state change happen or whenever the price change happens. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So right now with my client, I'm able to link this couple of observers with my subject, and my subject right now knows that these are the couple of observers who wants to get the updates. Okay, whenever the state change happens over here, you need to send notification. Okay, the price has been hiked to 2000 right now. You have to let this observer know. You have to let this observer know. Like the subject has to let this observer knows about it. Okay, till now, guys, things are making a little bit of sense. Whatever I have coded. Yes, no questions? Please ask me. Any questions, guys? Yes or no? No. Okay. Let's just go to the next part of the things right now. So, right now, my observers are registered with the subject. Now the next thing, okay? So somehow right now, you have a subject, okay? And some price has been set initially, imagine like that. And you have the observers, let's say these 3 observers are right now registered with this subject. Now, whenever there is a price change happens, what do you have to do? You have to send notification to all these 3 observers that, hey, my price has been changed. The state of this object has been changed that you are looking for. So somehow, I need to create a method called notify all observers. And I have to make sure whenever there is a price change happens, I can iterate through all the observers that I have over here, and I can send them the notification. Okay, I can push them, I can push the update to them. Okay, so you can think like I'll have an update method with each observer, because otherwise how I will update them that something has been changed in the subject state over here. So this notify observer will iterate through all the observer object, and to each observer, it will send the update by using their update method. So observers will have a method called update. Now this notify all observers is right now going to call this update method of each observer and going to tell them that, okay, something has been changed over here. Okay, something like this. This guy will make a call to their update method and let them know about like the state change has happened. Okay, I hope this makes sense. Now, the thing is, if I'm just going to make a normal update, okay, the observer will understand that, okay, there is something changed in the subject price right now, so that this notify all observer methods from the subject has sent me an update by calling my update method. Okay, all the objects are right now notified that, okay, something has been changed. But they don't actually know what is the latest, price which has been modified to. Okay, previously it was 2000, now it has been changed to 3000. They didn't have that data. Okay, for that, if you want, you can also have an update method inside the observers with a price, with the int price as a parameter, something like this. Okay, so that the subject right now can make a update call. It can call this update method by passing in the value, the updated value over here. Let's say it's 3000. It's 3000 right now. Now the call will go over here, over here, over here. Now all these guys right now will have the updated price details that, okay, right now if it will be 3000, they can get the details right. Okay, the price is right now 3000. It will also get, okay, the price will right now 3000. It will also be getting the price value as 3000. Okay, when the price will be 4000, again there will be update will be sent to all the observers like the price is right now 4000. Okay, I hope this makes sense. So now let's just go to our IntelliJ. Let's just start coding again. So whenever the price has been changed, I know like my subject has a list of observers already. Okay, so whenever there is a price change is happening over here, I need to somehow notify all the observers that, okay, your price has been changed. Okay, so now I'll go to the set price method, and maybe here I'll introduce something called notify all observers, something like this. Okay, and I'll create this method over here called notify all observers. I'm going to do what? I'm going to iterate through all the observers, what the subject is holding right now. So I'm going to do a for each loop. Okay. I'm going to iterate through this observer list. Okay. Something like this. And I'm going to fetch each observer. Okay. And now I'm going to send updates to each observer that your price has been changed. Send updates to each observer. Okay. So regarding the price change. Okay. I hope this makes sense. Look at the flow again. The price you are changing right over here, let's say it's 2000 right now. So you'll get the price, new price is 2000. You'll be setting the price right now. Now the subject price has been modified to 2000. Now the subject state has been changed. If the subject state has been changed, now the setter method, which is updating the price, will have a notify all server call. And this notify all observers, not servers. So notify all observers call. Now this notify all observers will iterate through each observers inside this list and gonna send them update. And I told you how basically the subject will send the update notification to all the observer. Now here I'm getting each of the observer from the list right over here. It is iterating and getting hold to each of the observer. Now I'm going to say observer dot maybe some kind of a update method I need to have inside the observer. Okay, so that I can send the latest price detail. Let's say if the price is 1000 or 2000 or 3000, whatever the new price has been set by the setter method to here, that price details I can send over here to each of the observers. So I'll create this update method inside the observer like this. Okay, so I have my observer. It'll have only one method right now called update. And now it will receive the price, right? So look at this subject. Okay, it is iterating through each observer, calling the update method, giving the price. And here in the update, I'm going to set the price. Okay, let's say it has a property. Let's say int gold price, something like this. And let's say private. Okay, and here it will set this price. This dot, let's say gold price is equal to whatever price which is coming with the method call. I'll be set to this. Okay, in this way, I'll have a hold to this. I'll be setting the new price over here. Now the observer knows that what is the updated price over here, which has been set to. Okay, but there is no way I can see the price right now. So maybe I can have a display method over here. Maybe I can have a method called, let's say, a display latest gold price. Okay, something like this. And this method I'll be creating, and this method will just print the price. Okay, s out the latest gold price is, and you just have the reference over here and try to print it. Okay, now let's just see what is going to happen. Let's just go to the client here. Let's say I have one observer, okay, which has been currently registered over here with the subject. I'm setting the price. Let's just see if that observer is getting notified or not right now. Run this. You can see the latest gold price is 2000. The observer one is right now get the notification. Let's say I have two observers right now, observer 1 and observer 2. Okay, now my subject has two observers registered. I'm updating the price to 2000, or let's say 3000 for an example. Okay, right now this observer will get the notification and will print the data. This observer will get the notification and will print the data. Okay, so let's just run this. Okay, you can see the latest gold price is 3000 for this observer. Whenever you make the set price call, it will go to the set price, notify all the observers. This is iterating through each of the observers, calling their update method. Then the update method will get the latest price. The display latest gold price is just printing the data. That's why you're getting this line. Okay, now let's say I'm doing the price change again. Okay, let's say the price change has been price has been changed to 4000. Let's just run this again and look at this. 3000, the notification goes over here. 3,000, the notification goes over here for this line. Then 4,000, the notification goes to this observer right over here. And 4,000, the notification goes to this observer over here. In case you are getting confused, whenever you are practicing, do this. Or whenever you are defining your observers, just give it a name. Let's say this observer, make it a person. For an example, this is Anil. Okay. And let's say this observer, give it a name to this. Let's say this is Archana. Okay. So let's say I have given a couple of names to each of the observers. So for an example, you can come over here, just have a constructor, okay, which will accept the price. Sorry, not the price. Just have a name over here, private string. I will remove this just for understanding. Observer name, and just have command N, create a constructor for the observer name so that we won't be having any compilation error over here. Okay, and whenever you are sending the notification over here in the subject right over here, just print the name. Okay, as out sending updates to, okay, and just print the observer name. Every observer has a property right now called name. You can right now get the name. Okay, go to the observer. For this observer name, just create a getter method. Okay, getter, not for the gold price, command N, getter for the observer name. Okay, so right over here in the subject, you can just do observer dot get name, get observer name, like this. Now go to the client and run this. Okay, now look at it. Look at the output. Sending updates to Anil, gold price is 3,000 for this. Sending updates to Archana, the gold price is 3,000. Okay, now both of the observers got updated for the price change. Again, we are changing the price to 4,000. Sending the updates to Anil, the price is 4,000. Sending the updates to Archana, the price is 4,000. Okay, so your your first goal is achieved over here. We're able to push the notification to each of the observers right now. Something like this, you are giving the updates to each of the observers which are available, right? Making sense, guys? Little bit. Can you confirm me once? Like easy, confused, or like everything makes sense?
It makes sense.
You need to do hands-on for one time, isn't it? The coding hands-on, or it's making sense everything in the first shot. Guys, just give me some answers, please. Just let me know, guys, if it is making sense or not making sense.
It makes sense, sir. Yeah.
Okay. I can be in a peace of mind, right? That I can tell you guys the next thing right now. Guys, yes. Talk to me.
Yes.
Otherwise I'll get very bored.
yes, sir. Like you can go ahead with that.
Okay, fine. Very simple thing. See, this is nowhere related. It's not like you have to learn this design pattern in order to understand the reactive Java. Reactive Java is one of the concept which is based on the observer design pattern, which uses the observer design pattern. Okay, like that, there are so many concepts in Java which uses the very famous observer design pattern, and this is what it means. Okay, you have one subject, you have many listeners. Okay, it's a one-to-many relationship. Whenever the subject state is getting changed, you're sending notification to all the listeners. Okay, and this is the way you are doing it. You are making a push from the publisher to all of its subscriber, in a sense. Okay, fine. So before I do the UML diagram, so what is the time right now? 8:14. Okay, we'll wrap it off right now. I just thought to give you one more design pattern, but it will be too much. Okay, that's fine. Let's just do one more thing. And this one, you guys let me know how to do this. Now, see this, guys. Notify all observers. I think this is done. And look at this. Now, let's say all these three observers are right now registered with my subject. And somehow this observer one doesn't want to receive any more updates from me right now, okay, or any more updates from my subject right now. Then we can have a onRegister method. We can have that method. We can expose that method through the subject. And using this method, these observers can unsubscribe themselves or unregister themselves or remove themselves. They just need to pass their instance and make a call that, okay, subject dot unregister, and this observer one instance, you give it over here. Once you give that, the subject will remove that specific observer from the list it is maintaining, okay? And whenever there will be a price change happens right now, it will send only updates to them who are registered with the subject, okay? It's not going to send notification to the observer one right now. As simple as that, okay? So right now, what I want to do, let's say here, there is a price change is happening. Let's say 4,000. Here it is, gold price is changing to 5,000. But let's say in between this, from the subject, one of the observer is planning to unregister, okay? Then we somehow need to have an unregister method or unsubscribe method or remove method using what? Whoever the observer don't want to be, get updates. Let's say the observer one, Anil, don't want to get the updates right now. So he can unregister himself like this, okay? So we can have this method in our subject class like this. And right over here, we can just have a remove call from our list. Here we are maintaining all our observers. We're going to do observer list dot remove an observer. Okay, there you go. And now let's just see what is going to happen. In the client.java, let's say for 3,000, all the observers will get the updates. For 4,000, all the observers will get the updates. But when the price change happens to 5,000, one of the observers has been removed. Let's say the observer one. Now only Archana will get the updates, right? Right over here. Only Archana will get the updates. Let's just run this. Look at this. For 3,000, it has been sent to Anil and Archana. For 4,000, sent to Anil and Archana. Okay, these are the 4,000 data. But for the 5,000, only the data has been sent to, only the updates has been sent to Archana. The subject has just notified the observer who is interested right now. Okay, so you need to also expose a remove method. So in the subject class, we have three important methods. Okay, this subject is also called as observable. Okay, this is called observer, who is observing the gold price, maybe a gold tracker, gold rate tracker, or maybe a jewelry dealer, or maybe any human being. They're observing the gold price. So they are the observer, and the subject is also called as observable. So whatever you are comfortable at, if some people are telling it observable, that means they are referring to the subject. And if some people are calling it subject, that means they are just reading the head first design pattern book and calling this a subject. But I love to call this a subject because it makes more sense to me rather than observable, right? So maybe like subject and observer makes more sense to me. So subject, like I am going to notice the state change of this guy, this subject. Observer is trying to observing the subject. Okay, that's it. Okay. So the observer right now have one. So right now we can remove this observer name over here, not needed. The naming that I have given, okay, I can remove this constructor. I can remove this name. This is just to show you guys. It was not actually needed in an observer design pattern. I was just giving you guys an example. So I have given the name over here, Anil and Archana, but you can actually remove that. But I hope that you understand what I mean, because if you're going to run this kind of code, you are not going to get some more details. One second, let me remove this line as well. Okay, if I'm gonna go ahead and run this, you are just going to get the logs, right? So you are not going to get the name, right? So you just need to count. Okay, the observer one. So for this, the 3000 need to be sent. So a couple of logs to all the observers. Then for 4000, observer 2 and observer 1 both will be notified. So couple of statement. For 5000, one observer has been removed, so it will go to only one observer. So there's the observer 2 log over here. But you are not getting the name over here. But I removed it, but I think you understand the things right now. So let's just try to build the UML diagram before we wrap up today. So guys, so far you guys are in sync with me, right? No questions? You guys are okay with it? Just confirm me one time. Yes, no?
Yes, Abhilash. Yeah, yes.
All clear, right? So let's just try to follow like the industry standard approach. Otherwise, if somebody very serious guy going to watch this video, he's going to scold me for sure that what rubbish you are coding. So what we're gonna do right now? Okay, let me just. I have the star UML over here. Can I just check star UML? Okay, let's not use any tool because this is not required and unnecessary. I don't want to get you guys confused by doing something which is not related to the things that we are learning. So this is not a design pattern class, but yeah, anyhow, I can just code something out over here. Okay, so I can write it in this way. Okay, let's say we have a subject. Okay, this object will be an interface. Make sure that it can be called as observable. Okay, the subject has 3 important methods. One second, let me just make it black. The subject has 3 important methods. One method will be add, and one method will be remove, and one method will be notify all observers. Okay. So the subject we have and we'll have one observer. Okay. We'll add what? We'll add observers only, right? So here we'll have another interface, Control C, Control V, and we can call this as observer. Okay. This is also going to be an interface. So here we're going to be having one method only that is called update. Okay, you can have a method called update. If you want to pass in data over here, you can pass in. There is other way to achieve that thing as well. But yeah, there will be update method over here. If you want, you can just write int data over here. Okay, but you can also make it object data. There is other way of doing that thing as well. Maybe I can give that tricks to you as well. Okay, so for now, let's say this is how we have coded it. And in our add method, it takes a observer instance over here. Okay, it's going to take a observer O. If you want to add an observer, then this subject need to have an add method which has a observer O over here inside the parameter. For this also it is same, and it just need to pass in the observer instance over here. And notify all doesn't take any parameter over here. Okay, so now you can see the subject has the method which takes observer in the method parameter. Whenever you see this kind of thing, I have told you already in my solid design pattern course. I don't know if you remember it or not, but you can see this methods over here has observer instance in the method parenthesis. Okay, that means it has a dependency. That means it has a dependency. It has a relationship. It has a relationship with observers. The subject has a relationship with the observer. So how do we denote has a relationship? Maybe we can use this arrow mark like this. Okay, I think this is more suitable for EJ, which is like inheritance. Let me just check. Maybe I can change this arrow mark to something like this. This will make sense. You'll see this kind of diagram in your office project and everything. So it's a has a relationship. If you don't understand, just think this add method takes an observer. This remove method takes an observer in the parameter. If parameter is coming like this, means it will be has a relationship with this guy. And it's a subject to observer. Is what kind of relationship, guys? Just for an example, is 1 to 1 or 1 to many or many to many or many to 1? Subject to observer is what kind of relationship?
It's 1 to many.
1 to many, right?
Many.
Yeah, one guy, subject will have many observers, right? We already know that. Okay, we can have multiple observers for one subject, right? So let's say it's 1 to many, something like this. Many side is this, one side is this. Okay, now you can have many observers. Okay, if you have many observers, then you'll have many implementation, right? So Control C, Control V, and let's say you will have a concrete observer now. Like imagine it's a gold tracker application, which is observing the gold price. So I can say concrete observer. Okay, it'll be a class. Okay, this will be a class that you'll be creating. I have directly coded the class, but yeah, we can refactor the code if you want. But yeah, something like this you can think. Concrete observer. This will be a class that we're going to be having. Okay, and here inside the concrete observer class, this will be extending to this one. So maybe I'll change the diagram, change this to this kind of arrow. This means is a relationship. Okay, now this one extending to, sorry, this class implementing to this observer or something like this. Okay, so this update method I will be basically overriding over here. So this will be a public method. So if you want, you can give a plus kind of symbol over here. Okay, and if you want to understand like this, you can also think like this is a gold rate tracker application. Okay, and imagine for our subject, okay, we have a class like gold. Okay, now instead of telling our subject a subject, we can say we have a concrete implementation for our subject. Let's say gold class. Okay, and the gold class has a property called, let's say, what is that? It's a private property. So I'm going to say minus, and the property is, let's say, gold rate or something. Okay, and we have getters and setter exposed to that. And apart from that, we have all these three methods overridden over here. Okay, inside this gold class. All right, so something like this, and they can think like this. And also if you can think like, okay, this gold class have add remove method, and it's also takes this observer as a parameter. Maybe instead of that, you can just say it's going to take gold tracker as a parameter, something like this. Okay, so it also has in the parenthesis you have this gold tracker, means it has a relationship with this class. Okay, so you can introduce these things if you want. So maybe if I just want to refactor the code. So don't get confused. Let's just try to refactor just according to our UML only. So we will be having a subject and observer. So this subject, first of all, okay, subject and observer, I have already made them class. So maybe I can create a couple of Java interfaces. I'm going to say iSubject otherwise it won't allow me to create the class because I already have a class exists. So I'm going to create an interface called iSubject. The iSubject interface has three methods. Okay, this is the subject. So it will be having public void add and public void remove and public void notify. Okay, notify all observers, something like this. Okay, and also we'll have a iObserver class, interface called iObserver. Okay, something like this. The iObserver will have a update method. So I'm going to say it will be having a public void update method, and it's going to take a int data over here as a parameter, and this iObserver will be inside the add method over here. So I'll be adding a iObserver with the subject. This is how you'll be removing an iObserver with the iObserver with the subject. Okay, and this is how I'll be notifying everyone. Okay, so you have two super implementation right now, iObserver and iSubject. Now let's just go to our let's say observer class right now. So here we had an observer class previously, let's just say this as a gold tracker application. Okay, gold tracker app. Okay, so let me rename the file. Okay, it's a gold tracker app and it has the gold price and it has update method and everything. I'm going to say this gold tracker app implements observer because this is an observer right now. And right now, this observer, this I observer. Okay, I observer is something that we have created over here. Okay, and now it has one method. We are overriding that method over here. Okay, so that makes sense, right? And like that, we also have the subject class. Go over there. Let's just say this object is my gold class. Okay, and the gold, let's say, implements I subject. Okay, now this is what I told you. The gold class implements I subject. It has to override all these three methods. Okay, so now if I will, so what are the methods over here in the I subject? First one is add, then remove, then notify all observers. I think I have all these three methods. Instead of I observer here, I'm going to say I observer, something like this. So it can take any instance of I observer, like gold tracker is a I observer instance, so it can have a hold to that. So can I go to my subject? This looks good. Now set price is there. Notify all method is there. It's going to be a public method, not a private method. Okay. And now I'm going to say for all I observer, okay, right over here. Okay. You can do this, and this will be also a overridden method, override, something like this. And then add is also a overridden method. So override, and it's going to take a I observer as a parameter, any class which extends to, any class which implements to this interface, like our gold tracker is implements to this interface. So it can take that instance. Now I'm going to also do the same with this as well. So all the errors are right now fixed. Okay, so this looks good. And now I'm going to change the class name. So rename file. There you go. Everything is fixed. Now let's just go to our client class. So client. Okay, so instead of subject, I can create gold over here, gold object. And this is my gold tracker application. So I'm going to say gold tracker app and gold tracker app, observer one. You can have a different implementation as well, but I'm going to have the exact same implementation and a couple of instances of that same thing. And then I can just do, let's say, gold subject or something like this. And there you go. I'm going to add a couple of observers to this. Now I'm changing the price over here and setting the thing. I'm going to run this. Just changed my hierarchy a little bit. This works same. Some people do things in this way. Instead, they don't want to add things right over here manually. Rather, they do what? They do this. Inside the observer, they pass this gold subject over here. Okay, so inside the observer only, they're passing this gold subject. So if you're going to go to this I subject, or maybe directly I'm going to say gold here, gold, because they want to get the gold information right over here only. I'm going to tell you why, but let's say gold, and let's say they are having a constructor here like this. Okay, so in my I subject right now, inside my client right now, right over here, they're passing the gold subject over here, all the gold tracker application, and here you're going to be having the access to this gold object. And inside the constructor only, whenever somebody is trying to add a whenever somebody is trying to initialize an object over here, you can see whenever somebody is trying to initialize this gold tracker object with this object reference, they're passing in the subject. They're passing in the subject object over here. By doing so, you can also remove those add thing from there, and inside this only, you can do this. You can just do gold dot add, and you can add the current observer like this. Okay, so if you want to remove some line and reduce some line, it can also do the same thing right over there. Okay. So by doing so, if you're going to go to the client and if you're going to run this, I think this will work in the same way. We won't be having any exception. Is it working in the same way? There we go. Okay. So that adding the, adding the observer to the subject, I did in the other way around. Okay. I think like this, only the head first people have done the things. Like they're taking the subject object right over here whenever they're initializing the observer, and whenever they're passing in the subject object over here, inside this constructor only, they're setting it, and inside the constructor only, they're adding the current observer, which is this object. This means on top of what object you have called the method. So if you can do whatever way around if you want to do that. Okay. So there you go. So this is a simple piece of code. Just go ahead and practice a couple of times and things will make sense. And look at this diagram and code it out. And in case you are making the gold object available over here, some people might ask this is the observer, and why inside the observer you are putting the subject here? Because maybe this observer want to get the current price. Okay. To get the current price, it has to wait for the update, right? So because it has the update method. But if you have the gold object over here, anytime you can just do gold dot get gold price to get the current price. Okay. So anytime you can just do gold dot get price, whatever that, get price, and you will be getting the current price of the gold, right? That is the benefit if you want to keep the object of the subject over here inside this observer. Okay. Very simple thing. Nothing to crash your head. Take this code and code it out once, and things will start to make sense once you're going to code this for one time. But it's pretty simple, I feel. Okay. That's it. So guys, is it okay, or last part I made you guys confused?
It's okay, Blush.
Okay. Last part was, did I make a little bit confused in the end, Swati?
No confusion.
No confusion, right? Okay. Anyhow, I'm gonna make this video available, so you guys go ahead and practice once. And then this is no way related to the reactive stuff, so maybe I just want you to understand this observer pattern a little bit. So go ahead and practice. Come back tomorrow. We're gonna be talking something else. Okay. Perfect. So we're talking random topics, but I'm sure that this is going to help you in a long run. Okay. All right. So that's it for today's lesson. See you guys in the next session then.
I have a note of this.
Yeah, Anil.
Can I talk personally or no problem?
Yeah, we can connect around 11, Anil, if you're okay.
Oh, 11 o'clock.
Abhilash, you were telling there is one more design pattern that you wanted to tell today. What is the name of that?
That is iterator pattern, Repti.
Okay.
The iterator pattern is also the iterator pattern and observer pattern. They use together, and they used to. You can think like they are. This is the reactive Java is kind of the combination of both those patterns. Okay, so if you understand this one, this couple of things, the way they works, at least conceptually, that's it. That's pretty much it. You just need to understand how that works. That's it. This one makes sense, Repti?
Yeah, it makes sense, Abhilash. I understood.
Okay. All right. So how many of you first time have experienced this design part? I'm sure that most of you have already gone through that. But anybody forgot everything, then recapped everything over here? Or you feel like you were okay with this design pattern before? Why I'm asking is just want to know, like, if you are experiencing this design pattern for the first time, like this presentation makes sense or not. Just want to get a feedback from you guys. Just want to know where it lacks. Guys?
I'm hearing for the first time, so I'm fine with it.
Fine with it, okay?
First time only, it's fine, Abhilash.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yes, I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So see you guys tomorrow then. That makes me happy. Okay. But I think I just wanted to tell few more things but that's fine. And guys, one thing before I wrap up, because people will complain about it. See, I told you one thing. In the goal tracker app, you have given this gold object right over here. This gold is your subject, or this is the observable. You are observing this gold. Now this gold tracker app has a gold instance. Okay. Some people might ask you, why do you need to have this instance over here? Because you want to create loosely coupled application. You need to make sure your gold, okay, here, and your gold tracker, which is this one. Can I put it over here? Okay. Your gold and gold tracker is just like they both knows each other right now. See, gold has eye observers, which is like eye observers means it's gold tracker only, right? I have written eye observers here, but you can write gold tracker directly over here, right? And you have gold tracker is the implementation of eye observers. So the gold knows gold tracker and the gold tracker knows gold. So it's like a both way relationship you have created over here. So it's just like the gold inside the add, remove, notify all, you have the gold rate tracker instance over here. Similar to that, here also you have created a constructor which takes the gold as a parameter, right? The subject as a parameter. So it's just like a both way hedge relationship you have established, because this one in any method constructor, if you have this dependency, that means it's a hedge relationship. So I have given this arrow from here to here, and here also from add, remove, everything you have the gold tracker as dependency. So I put this one like this. Okay. So some people might ask you that, okay, is it really necessary to have this guy over here? Just tell them, okay, what if you want to get the initial value, or what is the initial price of the gold, right? If you don't have this guy over here, how you will get that, right? Because you will only have the updated value once the update method gets called by this notify all observers. Once the update method gets called over here, then only you'll be getting the updated value over here. Okay. But let's say I want to get the current gold value right now. Think like this update has not been called and this has been initialized to 0, right? So how can I get, let's say I have another value, right? What is that gold price? If this is initialized to 0, right? How can I get the current gold price? Okay. Maybe I can do something like this. I can just do somewhere, I can create a method. I can just do gold is this object, and dot, I can have get price. I can create a getter method here called get price. Just like I have created a setter method over here called set price, create a getter method called get price, and just do gold dot get price over here inside the gold tracker app anytime you want to get the current price of the gold. Okay. So that's why you have introduced the variable. You don't want to have this, you remove this, because I've seen a lot of interviews. They ask you this design pattern, how it works. They'll tell you, okay, how if you go to Flipkart or some website, how that notify button work. Because let's say I am tracking a product and I want to check what are the current price change. Whenever the price drop happens or price change happens, just notify me. You can find like there is a notify button, right? Once you click on that notify button, going to Amazon product, then you will keep on getting notification whenever the product price change. They will ask you to design some kind of implementation, something like that, or maybe some Netflix kind of thing. Like Netflix, you have that movie coming in. You want to get notification whenever there will be any latest teaser trailer gets dropped. So how will you be getting a notification? So this design pattern is the solution for that, and just explain them. Okay. Perfect. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll meet again. Thank you then. Okay. Yeah. Bye guys. And anybody with whom I missed the call, I will be checking my Skype chats, guys, and will be responding you guys shortly. There are so many messages, so just allow me some time and I'm going to ping you guys back, if you have pinged me recently. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.